You just found a snake curled up right outside your door, and before you even think about it, you're already reaching for a shovel. That split-second decision might be a mistake you can't undo. Today, you'll learn what that snake is really doing near your house, and why killing it could create a problem far bigger than the snake itself. Most snakes found near a home aren't lost. They're working. They follow rodents. Rodents follow food, warmth, and shelter. And a house gives rodents exactly that. So where there's a mouse problem you haven't noticed yet, a snake is often the first sign something's already living in your walls. The snake you're staring at right now is probably not the one you're imagining. In most backyards across North America and Europe, the species behind the woodpile is usually a rat snake, a garter snake, or a grass snake. Not a rattlesnake, not an adder. These harmless species make up the overwhelming majority of sightings near homes, and none of them pose a real threat to a person. Here's where it gets strange. Some of these harmless snakes have learned to fake being dangerous. A rat snake can flatten its head into a triangle shape and puff up its body. It can even vibrate its tail against dry leaves, and from a few feet away, it sounds exactly like a rattlesnake shaking its rattle. It isn't lying to hurt you. It's bluffing to survive. Scientists call this Bayesian mimicry, when a harmless animal copies the warning signals of a dangerous one to avoid a fight. If the bluff fails, most snakes have a second plan, and it still isn't biting. Many species release a foul-smelling musk from glands near the base of the tail. It's designed to make a predator lose interest fast. Some species go even further. The hognose snake will flip onto its back, open its mouth, and let its tongue hang out, playing dead so well that predators simply walk past it. None of this requires fangs. None of this requires venom. It's theater, shaped by millions of years of trial and error. While you're still deciding whether to grab that shovel, that snake is already doing something useful for you. A single rat snake can eat several dozen mice and rats in 1 year alone. Fewer rodents means fewer chewed wires inside your walls. It means fewer contaminated food supplies in the pantry. And it means fewer ticks and fleas, because rodents are the ones carrying them inside. On farms and in gardens, snakes remain one of the most effective natural pest controls we have. And unlike traps or chemicals, they don't cost a single cent. Snakes have been doing this job for a very long time. Fossil evidence places the earliest snakes at around 100 million years ago, long before the first humans ever built a wall to keep anything out. Every time a snake shows up near your foundation, it's simply doing what its ancestors did in every burrow, riverbank, and grassland before us. Now, not every snake near a house is harmless, and knowing the difference matters. Venomous species in most regions share a few common physical traits: a head shaped like a triangle, much wider than the neck, vertical pupils instead of round ones, and in pit vipers specifically, a small heat-sensing pit between the eye and the nostril. But here's the catch nobody mentions. These traits are hard to judge from a distance, in low light, or through tall grass. And as you just learned, harmless snakes can copy that same triangular shape when threatened. That's exactly why the real answer isn't learn to identify snakes on sight. It's keep your distance and let it decide to leave. Most snake bites don't happen because a snake went looking for a person to attack. They happen because someone tried to pick the snake up, corner it, or kill it. In the United States alone, roughly 7,000 to 8,000 venomous bites are reported each year, and the overwhelming majority happen during an attempt to handle or kill the snake. Snakes don't chase people. They don't hunt people. They don't see us as prey. If you find one outside, the safest move is simple. Don't corner it. Don't block its only escape route. Step back, give it space, and in most cases, it moves on within minutes. If it's inside your home, the situation changes slightly, but the panic still isn't necessary. Close the door to that room, block the gap underneath with a towel, and call a local wildlife control service to remove it safely. Trying to trap or kill it yourself is how most indoor bites actually happen. Snake identification isn't the same everywhere, and that matters too. In the southeastern United States, the copperhead is the most commonly encountered venomous species. In parts of Europe, it's the common adder, usually shy and rarely aggressive. In Australia, the situation is more serious, since several of the world's most venomous species live there. Local knowledge matters more than general rules, because a rule that works in one country can fail in another. A lot of what people believe about snakes turns out to be folklore, not biology. The idea that milk snakes drink milk from cows came from their frequent presence in old barns, where they were actually hunting the rodents drawn to the grain, not the milk itself. The idea that a snake's tongue can sting is also false. That forked tongue is a smelling tool, picking up scent particles from the air. Even the belief that all snakes near water are dangerous doesn't hold up. Most water snakes are non-venomous and simply hunt fish and frogs. Every one of these myths leads to the same outcome: a dead snake that never deserved it. And that outcome has a bigger cost than most people realize. In several regions, populations of common, harmless snake species have declined noticeably over the past few decades, and researchers point to habitat loss and needless killing as two of the leading causes. When a snake population drops in a farming region, rodent numbers don't stay the same. They rise, sometimes sharply, within a single growing season. More rodents means more crop damage, more contaminated grain storage, and more cost for farmers. The snake in your yard is a small, quiet piece of a much larger system. Remove enough of them, and the system has to compensate somewhere else, usually with more pesticides, more traps, and more expense. This confusion between dangerous and harmless species isn't limited to one country. In many parts of the world, any snake with a wide head or a fast strike gets treated as deadly, even when local wildlife experts say otherwise. The pattern repeats because fear travels faster than facts, and a shovel is a much quicker response than looking something up. So the next time you see a snake resting near your home, remember three things. First, it's very likely one of the harmless species that make up most sightings worldwide. Second, even its scariest-looking behavior, the flattened head, the shaking tail, is usually a bluff meant to end the encounter peacefully. Third, it's most likely there because your property is offering food or shelter it needs. If snakes near your house are a real concern, the solution isn't killing the one you can see. It's removing what attracted it in the first place. Seal gaps in your foundation, since that's the same entry point rodents use. Store firewood away from the house instead of stacked against the wall. Keep grass trimmed short, since tall grass gives both rodents and snakes cover to hide in. These small changes address the actual cause, without needing to harm an animal doing its job. If you do want a snake moved off your property entirely, the right call is still a wildlife professional, not a shovel, a hose, or your own two hands. They know how to relocate it without stress to the animal or risk to you. The snake curled up by your door was never there to hurt you. It's there because your house happens to sit inside its hunting ground, the same ground it may have used for years before you ever noticed it. Killing it doesn't remove a threat because, in most cases, there never was one. It just clears the way for the rodents that snake had been keeping in check. Within weeks, some homeowners notice more rodent activity, not less, after removing a resident snake. The next snake that shows up is simply doing the same job the last one did. So the real story here was never about danger. It's about how much a single animal's appearance can mislead you about the role it actually plays. The next time you cross paths with a snake near your home, maybe the first reaction doesn't need to be reaching for a shovel. Maybe it's just one quiet step back and letting it finish the work it came here to do.